Some people will tell you the world is mostly good, that strangers are harmless, that the person watching you is just looking. They're wrong. These are real stories. They happened to real people. Story 1. The Girl Upstairs. He was 19, first apartment, new life. Above him lived a couple, always fighting. One night, police took the boyfriend away. The girl, Jen, came downstairs. Scared, grateful. She asked for his number. He gave it to her. That was his first mistake. A late-night call, an invitation he didn't accept. Then, drunk, crying, "Why don't you think I'm attractive?" He hung up. 30 seconds later, she was at his door, 2 in the morning, screaming, pounding, nonstop. Police took an hour. She never stopped. When they arrived, she claimed they'd been intimate. He let them search. They found nothing. By 4 a.m., she called again. He told her not to contact him. He came home to a spotless apartment, fresh cookies on the table. He thought his girlfriend had surprised him. He walked into the bedroom. It wasn't his girlfriend. Jen was there, smiling. She said something he has never repeated. He turned around and ran. She was arrested. But it didn't end. Weeks of knocking, screaming, following. Eventually evicted, dragged out screaming. He moved, changed everything. She found him again. Another arrest, another state. She kept reappearing for over a decade. In 2013, she died by suicide. He was just her downstairs neighbor. Story 2. The Worst Lab Partner. She was 19, Community College, Oregon. His name was Brian, early 40s, 6'4", talked too much, showed up uninvited, texted constantly, then touching her arm, her waist, standing too close. "You look 15, young enough to be my hot daughter." He started appearing at her job, a place she never told him about. One day he offered her his computer. Curiosity won. She found his blog. Explicit fantasies, logs of every interaction. Her schedule, her route, her workplace. All tracked. She went to police. They couldn't act unless he physically harmed her. A month later, her roommate was attacked. A nearby backpack, rope, a knife, tape, drugs. She showed police the blog. There was a new post. His plan to take her that very night. He was arrested. Brian, you were the worst lab partner she ever had. Story 3. The Man at the Pool. She was 10, every Friday, swimming lessons. Afterward, she and her brother waited in the spa for their dad. One evening, a man watched her. Tall, thin, gray hair. She ignored it, but he kept appearing. Stores, malls, outside her school. Then came the camera. 2 years later, she was called to the office. Her uncle had come to pick her up. She had no uncle. Police identified him. Convicted sex offender. His camera held hundreds of photographs. Some through her bedroom window. A restraining order was issued. She never saw him again. Story 4. The Truck on the Hill. 2 girls, 16 and 17. A quiet hiking trail, no other cars. On the way back, a rusted red truck slowed beside them. The driver smiled and offered a ride. One convinced the other to get in. On the floor, a coil of rope, plastic wrap under the seat. He drove past 10 minutes, into the trees, no one around. He stopped at a remote cabin, an axe and a stump outside. He went in, told them to wait. They didn't. They ran into the woods and stumbled downhill in the dark. When they reached the lot, his truck was already there, parked, facing their car. They hid until dark. Then one of their car doors swung open. He climbed out, looked around, got back in his truck and drove away. They sprinted to their car and didn't stop until they were home. They never found out who he was. Story 5. The Sipsey Wilderness. She was 12. Her brother, 26, a Green Beret, took her backpacking in northern Alabama. On the 3rd night, 2 men wandered into camp. Greasy, scraggly, too many questions. "How long have you been out here? How long are you staying?" They left, but something felt wrong. Hours later, dogs, voices, getting closer. Her brother was already awake, listening for over an hour. He carried her into the trees. They hid on a hill above camp. That's when she heard it, the rack of a pistol slide. 5 men below, 3 dogs, 2 rifles, flashlights sweeping the ground. He leaned to her ear. "If they come toward us, run. Don't stop. Don't look back. Then they fired into the woods. He threw himself on top of her. 5 shots. 6. Then silence. Lights through the trees. A siren. Game wardens. Called earlier on a satellite phone while she slept. The men scattered. They packed up and never went back. She asked her brother not to tell their parents, afraid they'd never let her go hiking again. 5 stories, 5 lives forever changed. The scariest monsters don't live under beds. Next door, beside you in class, across the pool. Stay aware, stay safe, and whatever you do, let's never meet.